What's up? It's your boy Uncle Guitar YouTube, and you already know what time it is. If you're seeing me right now on this screen, go get that dusty old guitar from out of its space that has been sitting there collecting dust. Put this in your hand, and let's get to practicing, man. Come on, no excuses, no excuses. Go ahead and grab that guitar. I'll sit here and wait. All right, you got your guitar. Now that you got your guitar, I'm gonna sit here and tell you what my warm-up practice routine is and how I practice. The 3 licks that I chose that are most important to me as far as developing finger dexterity, hand and eye coordination, and alternate picking. So hopefully you'll find something useful out of all this content. And while I'm here, I'm gonna ask you to go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And make sure all notifications are turned on so you don't miss a minute of my uploading content. All right, without further ado, let's get into this practice routine. Now, the first lick I prefer to practice in my practice routine when I wake up, as soon as I get my guitar in my hands, and I thank God for waking me up for another day, is Seek and Destroy, Metallica. This riff is excellent because it involves a lot of finger dexterity, and it's overall a good riff for developing hand and eye coordination. So without further ado, let's get in that riff, man. And right now, since I'm freshly learning that lick, it's more about the quality than the quantity. So making sure I have my fingers in the right placement. Then once I get it down and I'm comfortable and I'm able to play it full to speed, then I work on alternate picking, which is up and down, up and down. You know how that goes. This next riff I practice is pretty much a given. And it's Sweet Child of Mine. Same thing. It develops hand and eye coordination. It's good for finger placement, finger dexterity, and alternate picking. Let's get into this one. And with that one, the hardest part will probably be the alternate picking with that one and sustaining of the notes, letting the last note sustain. So yeah, that's another finger exercise you can add into your regimen. Very, very useful, by the way. Now, the absolute last riff that I always practice, and it's like become like a sort of a holy grail for me, is an interlude to Master of Puppets. Gotta love it. It's good for finger placement. It's good for dexterity, alternate picking. It just forces you to exercise that pinky. It just does so many things and it has so many benefits. Let's get into this one. That one right there is very good for a number of reasons. The alternate picking, the finger dexterity, developing finger dexterity. So between these 3 licks right here, these are the ones that I practice the most. These are the ones that are in my practice regimen when I start in the morning. These are the licks that I feel gets things going and it gets my muscle movement going, gets my fingers going and whatnot. They're also really fun licks, so you can't deny that. There's no denying that these licks aren't fun. And they just generally improve overall hand and eye coordination. So that fretting hand, you know, you really want to get that down, you know, using all 4 of your fingers and keeping them as close to the fretboard as possible. And really, 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 I can't stress this fact enough. I don't care if it's all played in downstrokes or whatever. Always, always, always alternate pick. I wish I would have learned that a lot sooner. I wish I would have started working on that a lot sooner. I would have most likely been way more advanced. And it's just something I wish I would have learned a lot sooner. It is a tool that you're definitely going to need. And regardless if you ever don't need it or don't use it, it's better to have it and not use it than to need it and not have it. You know how that old saying goes. I wouldn't stress yourself out too much on these licks. I would just try to break them down into smaller chunks. It took me forever, and I'm not a guitar virtuoso. I'm nowhere near a guitar expert or anything like that. I just had my mind set on a certain amount of licks that I wanted to learn and perfect, and I didn't care if it took me forever to master them or to try to master them. I just went in and just never gave up. So it was overall determination over anything else. Guitar tabs help out a lot. It helps out so much, like really. Like, I can't count the amount of times somebody has commented in one of my reels on TikTok or commented in one of my videos of YouTube. Why don't you just look up the tab? And they're right. It's so easy. Just look up the tab. There's tons of tab out there for everything, just about everything. A lot of people probably want to know, how many times do I practice these riffs? 3 times a day for me. And it's really 30 minutes 3 times a day. I found that that works out very, very well for me. Best time to practice: morning, noon, and dinner, or evening, right before you go to bed. They say that you should always practice right before you go to bed because it's right there in your mind and it's instilled in your mind. And you should always practice first thing when you wake up in the morning. So those 2 times are the most crucial times to practice in order to retain information. Now, as far as practicing at lunch or at noon, if you work a job, that's probably going to be a little difficult. Although they do have these like mini guitars, like, it's just a neck and that's it. Something very, very portable, I would say, from like here to here or whatever, just a neck without the knobs and stuff, and it could fit in a backpack or whatever. And on your break or whatever, you could just take it in the bathroom and just do whatever you got to do. Find a way to practice. No excuses. If you're really serious about it, you're going to find some way to do it. It doesn't matter how you go about getting it done. It's going to get done. And just like that, we come to that part of the video where I politely ask you to subscribe and pass this video on to others if you got some useful information out of it. I'm really trying to work on my presence, my delivery, and my overall being comfortable in front of the camera. It's still a very awkward thing for me. I'm doing a lot of edits, in case you can't tell. Then there's a retention side, so trying to draw viewers in and keep them engaged. It's not an easy task. But we're making it happen little by little. Hopefully you guys are gaining more from me being a beginner and showing you my experience and relating to me than you are worried about quality and whatnot. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.